Greetings, vendors. In today's video, we are swapping out a MEI 4-in-1 Plus bezel to replace it with a regular ePort card swipe. Stay tuned. I'll show you this one mounting up. Enjoy. Gonna go ahead and get that lined up there. It's about right where I'm gonna put it. I don't have the template, so I'll use that as my drawing board. So here we are back after I drilled my 4 holes and my 1 large hole. That is a 3/4 inch hole I used with a step bit. At this point now, I will go ahead and shut the power off to the controller and open it up. Get you all stood up here. So if you have to install these or replace one of these on a Dixie Narco Series 2 controller system, you can unplug the power going to the controller and it'll shut everything down except for the cooling unit on the machine. Getting my screwdriver so I can pull the door open. There's a new ePort and the cable go with it along with the 4 mounting screws. I'm going to go ahead and get this open here. Since this is one of my modified machines, there are different steps I have to take. Hey, look, it shed more light on the subject. So behind where the controller is where the holes I drilled coincide. And I will go ahead and pull those off. There I am disconnecting the power. And since this is going to be basically behind the controller, I do need to take the controller off out of my way. It'll be different on your machines to mount these up. It just varies from machine to machine. I'm going to gently tilt it down here. As you can see, there's the holes drilled in there. You're going to connect the cable to the back of the ePort reader. It is keyed, so it only goes in one side. Make sure it clicks. And then you're going to make sure it's locked. And then I'm going to feed the cable through there and line up the holes. This is where having monkey arms comes in. I'm trying to replace the MEI bezel, which is having issues. It keeps resetting, and so I'm realizing I'm not getting as much sales as I was hoping. So what I'm doing now is I'm lining up the front of the bezel with the front of the machine and the holes, that way I can get it mounted up. If you have a friend that can help with this, it is definitely a big bonus to have help. If not, it can be done. Just take your time. On your machines, if you do not want to have an external ePort, the MEI 4-in-1 Plus bezel is a great addition. You don't have to drill holes or anything to the machine. It just replaces the existing bezel on your MEI series 2000 bill validator all the way up to the Talos series. And I'm just screwing it in. Don't need a lot of force on it, just enough to compress the gasket a little bit to keep it watertight. So now I'm going to get everything straight up. Drop the screwdriver. Getting that last screw tightened up in there. Sometimes they can be tight quarters. It fought me a little bit, but we will get around it. Give me a little trouble tightening this one last little screw because of the frame. Gonna get that tightened back on there. Remount the controller. Put my foot on the door to keep it from rolling. And then we'll get that on there. Up next, I will go ahead and get the bill validator removed from the machine because I need to change out the front bezel on it. It is no longer needed for the card reader functions on it. This takes the 11/32 nut driver. I just have it attached to my drill for faster use. Now I'm going to get these bottom two screws out. That way I can pull the validator out of the machine. I did already disconnect it from its connector, I believe. So the MEI 4-in-1 Plus bezel is actually a really good bezel to use. Unfortunately, when they do fail, they fail. So that's why I'm at the point I am, changing out to the original bottle bezel for the validator. Got it all taken off there. I'll take you over here to this power box, which is a good workstation here, and we're going to go ahead and get that swapped out. Grabbing my screwdrivers. Four screws hold the bezel on, so swapping them out really takes no time at all. For bill validator wise, I do always recommend an MEI. They are the best on the market for what they do. long reliability time, very few jams. So now I'll go ahead and get this one back on there. This is what was on there before. It's got a label on it that says it accepts 1s, 2s, and $5 bills. Get the screws attached. And then we'll get the bill validator back into the machine. And then the process to install the bill validator is the exact opposite of the process to remove it. You reconnect it, and you put the 4 11/32 nuts back onto the standoffs, and you're good to go. Get you all stand back up in position. Doesn't affect it on how it sits in the machine. Get the connector back on there. It is keyed. I do have it set up for pulse right now. I don't have it set up to use MDB. These nuts have washers on them, so that way they don't slip all the way into the socket. Get the bottom 2 back on there. Getting that all squared away. I will get the card reader reconnected, as well as the machine front end powered back up. This is something you don't have to take the machine out of service for. Well, it's out of service while you're working on it, but you don't have to take it off location to change out the parts. That's all done. Now I'll put the bill box back on it. And I will connect the little 6-pin connector for the card reader itself to the telemetry device. Close it up. We're going to go ahead and power it up and make sure everything's working. Bezel's powering up. See, the bill validator looks like it's back to normal, working, and the bezel is booting up for its first time. It can take up to a minute to boot up for the first time. Once it's back online, good to go. Machine's back in service. Another day of fixing vending machines. For more vending related content, like and subscribe. Have a great day, everyone. Yep, online. All ready to go. Have a great day.